Shabbos, everyone. Shabbos Hagadol, Shabbos before Yud Alf Nisan. The Rebbe starts saying Kapitel Kuf Chaf Hey 125, entering his 125th year, and so we're getting ready for Pesach. And I want to connect an idea of the letter the Rebbe sent before Pesach Tavshin Yud Gimel. We spoke about this letter before, with an idea we spoke about Parshas Truma about Tfilas Asher, the prayer of wealth. And in the letter, the Rebbe says something amazing. The Rebbe emphasizes the idea of Zecher L'Yetzias Mitzrayim. One has to remember the days we left Egypt, and b'chol dar v'dar b'chol yoim v'yoim, every generation, every day, we have to view ourselves as if we left Egypt. The emphasis that we talk about throughout Tefillah, and it's the chiyuv is Zecher, to remember, the word Zikaron. And seemingly, like the Rebbe says, Niskarim v'nasin, that when we remember something, it makes it present. So if we have to view every day as if we're leaving Egypt, and every generation we're leaving Egypt, so when we remember something, so nasim, then we can make it present. Seemingly, that means that the idea of memory, to remember something, is a tool, is a method of how to make it that you're presently in that moment. So when, like the Rebbe uses the language, the strong language of that letter, that when you're medameh, mitzayer, when you imagine and you visualize and you really get into the moment of how you left Egypt then, so then you could make it part of your present situation now, and you have the Yetzias Mitzrayim now. But seemingly one would think that the Zikaron, like I said, is just the method. The idea is to get to the place of the Yetzias Mitzrayim, of the leaving. The idea to get to Chayris, to freedom. So if you could do it in theory without the need of memory, if you're able to make it present on its own, then you'd be able to. Zikaron's not important. Zikaron is only the method to get to the Yetzias Mitzrayim. But if one analyzes better the letter, one could understand that the Rebbe is actually saying that no, it's the process of Zikaron itself. The mitzvah is Zecher L'Yetzias Mitzrayim. The mitzvah is to emphasize the Zikaron, the memory. The way a person makes that the present, that you have the idea that today, b'chol yoim v'yoim, today I'm leaving Egypt. Today I'm getting out of my limitations. Today I'm realizing that I have limitations to get out of. That yesterday what seemed like a redemption is today an exile. Every day, like we talk about, we're constantly getting to Eretz Yisrael. These are the 42 travels that he left Egypt, because to get to Eretz Yisrael is the destination, but you're constantly leaving. Well, yesterday was a goal, is today a limitation. The real way to understand that this is what's happening. This is the situation, and we're constantly needing to get out of our limitations till we reach the Eretz Rechava, the land of plenty, is when we have Zikaron. Zikaron is the method how you could understand that you need to get out of Egypt. When a person is mitzayer medamu, and you recognize and you realize and you actually spend time to pay attention, what is Mitzrayim? What was it? What was the experience? What was the purpose of it? How did I go through it? How did I experience it? What way did I get through it? So then you're realizing that it's taking you not just to get to the freedom, but it's actually showing you that you need to get to the freedom. The Rebbe talks about the Tfilas Asher in this week's Parsha, in Parshas Tzav, the Sicha we learned today. When the Rebbe talks about that, we spoke about this in Truma, but here we learned the actual text itself, where the Rebbe says, why, again, does God have to promise Avram that the Jewish people will leave wealthy, and now it conditions that the Jewish people have to go and borrow money so they can leave wealthy? Why does he have to say, V'achar ken yasir b'chush gadol? He could have just said, your children will be in exile, and then they're going to get out. So when the Rebbe says an amazing thing, like we said, but to emphasize it a bit stronger, that when Avram is talking to Hashem, when they're having the vision of the bris ben absarim, the covenant between the flesh, Hashem is promising Avram that if you want to know, you want to see a sign that the exile has a purpose. What's the sign that the exile is a success? That there was a reason behind the exile, is if they go out b'rechush gadol, if they go out with wealth. If they go out with wealth means that they never lost focus. If they go out with wealth, if they won't settle, even knowing that it's a process to get out of Egypt, and even after you get out of Egypt, there's a process to get to Eretz Yisrael, and that's a process to build the Beis HaMikdash. But if they never lose focus, never give up, never settle, never let the enemy break the resolve, If Mitzrayim would make the Jewish people say, we don't need wealth, we just want to get out, then the Egyptians won. The Jewish person loses their identity. They lose that we're the children of kings, that we are kings, that we're the children of Avram. God promised Avram they're not going to leave, they're not going to leave in a way of settling. They're going to walk out wealthy, meaning to say they're never going to forget where they come from. Just like Avram was an Usher and a God, he says, Liya Kesef Liya Zav, the Jewish people throughout the Gullus is not going to break them. They're going to stay focused. That's the idea of Zikaron. Zikaron is to remember what was going on. You can't truly realize that you're in Gullus. You can't truly get out of Gullus if you ever lose focus of why you went into Gullus. If you were able to go through all these experiences of Gullus, and when someone says, who are you? I'm a king. What do you mean you're a king? You're on the floor, you're in the dirt, you're in 49 levels of impurity. I'm a king. Egypt doesn't change that. Yes, it's difficult, it's hard to understand, and there's a process to get there. But I'm the king. I'm an usher. I'm a rich person. It's not just the prayer of a rich person. The prayer itself is a wealthy prayer. I never subscribe to Gullus, to changing who I am. It could mold me. I could realize it's a process, it's a journey, but it doesn't change me. Good Shabbos, everyone. Good Yom Tov. We should have true chayris through Zikaron, and we should be the chayris. Binyan Beis Hamikdash, Mashiach Tzidkeinu with the Rebbe. Yiraf Nisi, we should celebrate with the Rebbe here in Mashiach, in Yerushalayim, Good Yom Tov, Good Shabbos.